Okay, so let me just give a disclaimer. This video is strictly my opinion. Just like everyone has an opinion, I'm just expressing it on YouTube like many express opinions on YouTube. You can agree, you can disagree, and everything in between. So yeah, basically the mid-card belts seem to be suffering in value these days, and there are no powerful storylines attached to them. They just exist at the moment. In this video, I'm also going to share how this differs from last year's Wrestlemania, where things felt stronger for the mid-card talent and championships. Okay, hear me out. The Women's United States Championship and the champion Chelsea Green, the Women's Intercontinental Championship and the champion Lyra Valkyria, the Men's United States Championship and champion Shinsuke Nakamura, Intercontinental Championship and champion Braun Breaker, and then the entire tag team division both on the men's side and the women's side. Which one of these titles and champions are embroiled in a story right now that gets you excited for the future, and more specifically for WrestleMania, which is 2 months away? Do you get where I'm going with this? When it comes to Chelsea Green, the Women's United States Champion, and Lyra Valkyria, the Women's Intercontinental Champion, they both recently lost their respective qualifying matches for the Elimination Chamber. They have nothing right now. They lost non-title matches. So how is the WWE building upon these two new titles that they have introduced? Aren't they devaluing it at some level? Chelsea defended her title against Michin, I believe a couple times. And before that, I believe she had 2 other matches with Michin. What else? Meanwhile, Lyra Valkyria hasn't defended her title at all yet. Neither of them have any compelling story. What will be their roles at WrestleMania 41? That's a pretty big question mark, especially considering how these 2 new titles were pitched as being a new beginning for the women's division. It doesn't really seem that way at the moment. Now let's get to LA Knight. He is super over with the fans, don't get me wrong, right? The fans love him, even I love his energy, his overall vibe, right? He lost his US title to Shinsuke Nakamura, and then he got cheated out of it in a rematch. We get that, weird little moment with The Miz on SmackDown. LA Knight then defeats The Miz and is the #1 contender again, which means we are back to LA Knight and Shinsuke Nakamura. Former champion and the present champion and nobody else. So now what? What's going on? Now Braun Breaker. He has defended to a certain extent, but still, not really. There isn't much going on. Sheamus, who is desperate for the Intercontinental Championship since that's the one title that he has never got in his career, is a story that the WWE could build upon. He lost to Braun at Saturday night's main event. So now what? Again, now what? There is a massive roster in the WWE, but there aren't that many superstars involved in these championship storylines in the mid-card arena. The tag team division also has many players, but it's stale for various reasons. Are any of us emotionally invested in anything that has to do with the tag team division? I feel the New Day and the heat that they have received over the past few weeks could really be built upon to create an interesting story within the tag team division, but for some reason, that's not happening. They recently attacked Rey Mysterio on Raw, and I don't really know where the WWE is going with that. As for the women's tag team division, we are still wondering, what the WWE is planning to do with this entire Jade Cargill angle, right? But other than that, what is there? So, I honestly don't understand a bulk of what's happening. The roster is stacked right now, so this problem shouldn't really exist. Now, I know I said that this is my opinion, but I know for a fact that many people are saying similar things about WrestleMania and that it doesn't really seem to be as interesting or as compelling, but more so confusing in a way. And not many people are talking about the mid-card championships, right? Everyone's talking about, The Rock is keeping us hanging. They're talking about the upper card folks, and analyzing, dissecting all that, but I'm just trying to go a little lower here and just talking about the mid-card titles. Now, I may agree with a lot of the other reasons, but I also feel that there needs to be, multiple engaging storylines on the way to WrestleMania. Not just one. And that's where I feel broadly things may seem a bit off. In fact, if you go to the top and look at the World Heavyweight Championship, I, for one, hear me out, don't mind that Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble. Whether you like it or not, I do feel that there is a story in Jey going up against Gunther, right? The crowd reaction on live TV tells me I'm not the only one who feels this way. It's a David versus Goliath situation. Yeah, Jey is lacking in in-ring ability with only super kicks and whatnot, but I'm talking about story. There is something there compared to, a lot of other places, either on the top or mid-card or whatever. Things just seem jumbled up in other ways. Now let's look at last year's mid-card matches. WrestleMania 40 and how it differs from now. So let's just think about it. Sami Zayn going up against Gunther was built nicely. Jey versus Jimmy, even if the match sucked at WrestleMania 40, had a decent brother versus brother story build. We also had a nice build regarding the United States Championship match, which was a triple threat match. Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton. It had a nice build, a decent build. The non-title matches, like LA Knight versus AJ Styles, also had a good build to it. I remember the tag team division and the matches as well, both for the men's and the women's, had a nice build to them, or at least there was something going on. We even had Damian Priest with the Money in the Bank contract, keeping us curious as to whether or not he will cash it in. We had things to talk about. We don't even have that right now. So yes, something is off this year as we go towards WrestleMania. And yeah, I'm purposely not going into the whole Cody Rhodes thing and the Undisputed Championship because this video is about the mid-card titles mainly. I just feel something is lacking in this space. In short, I'm sure many will agree, many will disagree, but that's just the way of life. I really, really enjoy WWE, and I think it's the role of fans to just speak honestly about it, where things are lacking, while appreciating the good things, right? I said I don't mind Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble. I thought it was different. I think it's a David versus Goliath situation. The fans love it as well. There's at least something there, to some extent, at least some surprise. But when it comes to the mid-card championships right now, it just feels like there isn't much going there. You can't just look at the top players, whether it's CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, John Cena, and all these things. Because WrestleMania is about the low, mid, and upper card. It's about everyone. It's a celebration of wrestling. It's a celebration of just storylines. It's a Super Bowl of wrestling. So you have many, many matches in the WrestleMania card. So there needs to be multiple storylines. And that's what I feel. So that's that, guys. I really hope the WWE just kind of puts things, ahead and just kind of makes things more exciting. I hope they just press the gas pedal, man, and just really, really, really get things exciting everywhere. In the mid-card level, top level, we need stories. We need more stories for the Intercontinental Championship, men's and women's. We need stories for the United States Championships, men's and women's. We need stories, guys. So that's that. Please do subscribe to my channel if you like wrestling content. Until next time, peace out. Bye.